Hello everyone and welcome to Arts and Crafts for You. Today, my name is Gina and today I'm going to show you how to make this table runner for your table. Christmas is approaching and it's always good to have something new to put in your table. And these are really easy to make. Really only takes 2 pieces of fabric and you really only sew the sides. So I'm going to really show you how easy it is and anybody can make them. On this one here I added some beads. I actually sew some beads, but you don't even have to do that. You can just leave it without they add a touch in their own. So let's get started. I'm going to give you a list of materials that you're going to need. So I'm going to put this one here on the side and you're going to need two different types of fabric, one for your back and one for your front. And you're going to need a rotary cutter or some scissors, a ruler. You can use some of these for your edge of your table runner, but you don't really have to. You can leave it blank. Some pins. You're going to also need a sewing machine and an iron. So your first step for your table runner is really cutting your fabric. This one that I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, so I'm going to put all my stuff here away. And so I'm not going to do as long as this one here. This one here I actually bought fabric a little bit longer, so I could have it a little bit longer to fit the size of my table. But I'm just going to show you here is to make one that's just, just with the width of the fabric. So what I did here, I'm going to put my fabric into selvage with selvage, and I'm gonna put it here, and I'm really just gonna cut the size that I need this way, so I have the middle this way, and when I open, so it will be long. So for my middle fabric, the size that I'm gonna need, it's gonna be 12 inches from here to here, and the outside fabric I'm gonna need 18 inches from here to here, so 18 inches. I already went ahead and cut it. So normally what I do, I would put it here, and you don't even have to put your fabrics together, but you can line them up really nice. Of course one is going to be bigger than the other, so it wouldn't make any sense to cut them at the same time. So but I already cut mine, so I already have them here cut, so I'm going to put this fabric away. So as you see, I have 2 pieces here. This one is 12 inches, and then I have this one that's a little longer, that's 18 inches. Okay, so I have 18 inches. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open, and I also went ahead and cut off my selvage of my fabric, because it's never really a good idea of using your selvage. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to open my fabric this way, and I'm going to get my inside fabric, and I'm going to put right sides together. As you see, this one is much smaller than this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here and I'm going to pin it this way here. I'm gonna put some pins here. I'm gonna take this to my sewing machine and sew it this edge all the way to the end. I'm gonna sew it all the way to the end, and then after I'm done that side, my pins, I'm gonna do the same thing to this side. So I'm gonna put it here on this side, so bring this side, these sides together. I'm going to pin it again, and I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and sew these. Okay, I'll be right back. So, and I'm back. So as you see, I sew this area here. In my case I use a serger, but you don't have to. You can just use a regular sewing machine. And then I did my seam there also. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to trim a little bit of the thread that I have here from my serger, and I'm gonna turn it inside out. See, you end up with a really long tube. And you see it's already forming the shape. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take it to the iron now, and iron flat. You're gonna make sure that you have the same measurement from here to here and here to here, so your center is right in the middle. So I'm just gonna take this to the iron. I'm gonna iron it quickly, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I iron my piece. So now I just have to finish those edges. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna fold this like this, and what I'm gonna try to do is match my seams here, so I end up with a nice finish. So I'm gonna put a pin here, and I'm gonna do the same thing with this side. As you see, my fabric here was a little longer, so I'm gonna trim this off because it was a little longer, my inside fabric. So I'm just gonna go here, and I'm gonna trim this quickly like that. So I have, then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna fold it towards the right side of my runner. I'm gonna match my seam here like that, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a pin here where my seam is. See, make sure my seam is matching. Okay, so I'm gonna go there and go ahead and put a pin here. Then, since I want to attach these in my runner, I'm just gonna get these out. And what I have to do, this has to be from the inside, so I'm gonna go here on my corner, right in my corner, and I'm gonna put it in there. And I'm just gonna add a pin to hold it in place. Just leave it a little out so I can see where it is. I'm gonna put a pin here to hold it in place. And I'll go ahead and do that to the other side. It's right here. So I'm gonna get this one, and again I'm gonna attach to the inside here, right in the middle. Right, I'm gonna see exactly where it is. I'm gonna put a pin to hold it in place, and what I have to do a seam here. So I'm gonna take this to the sewing machine, do my 2 seams, and I'll be right back. And I'm back. So I did my sewing there, and I did my sewing there. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna turn it inside out. See, I already have that part, and I'm also gonna turn this side here. And you're pretty much done. Okay, so now what's left to do here is you're gonna take it to the machine, to the iron board. You're gonna do a quick iron, and then what you have to do is do a top stitch here. So I'm gonna do a top stitch here and a top stitch here, just to hold my corner in place. You can also go ahead and sew a little bit in here by hand. I would do it by hand because I don't want to see a seam on this side, or there's, unless you don't mind having this open. I like mine sewed in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna iron it, do my top stitch, and I'll be right back. So I'm back. I did my top stitch on this side, What I used a rayon thread, and I use a variation color, but you can use the same color if you would like. You're pretty much done your table runner. As you see, my edges are done, and so as this side, since only has the top stitch on the sides, this have the tendency to open a little bit. So what I'm gonna get a needle and thread with some red, since my back is red, and I'm just really gonna go here and secure this little tip here so it stays put just from the inside, so I know it's gonna stay and it's not gonna go anywhere. You can, if you'd like, you can sew it all the way through, but sometimes you don't really need that. As long as you do a couple stitches here on the side, it should stay. So I do this side, and just make sure it doesn't go right through. Okay, and I'm good here. See, no, it's not opening anymore, it's staying there. So I'm gonna do the same here to this side. And now just put a knot on my thread and do the same here to this side. So just the little tip and a little knot so it doesn't come through. And there you go, a quick and easy table runner. Pick your colors any time of the year. You can make these very easy. Thank you for watching, and check our Facebook page. Also, I'm in Twitter. On Facebook I post a lot of stuff too and some other ideas. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.